Saturday morning, 31st of May. Davo's on the topper. He's just heading out to one of the cow fields. We had to get a cow in the other morning for a bad eye. Where it's been so dry, you get a lot of these fine grasses, and they put a it's sort of like a spindly head up, and yeah. So Davo's gone to go and top the grass, and that sounds a bit mad with it being so dry and all the rest of it, but he's not actually going to be topping the lush green in the bottom like here. I don't know if you can see it. He will just be taking the tops off just above the lush green, so everything's at a level playing field. And what happens is those fine bits, when the cow's grazing with their head down, they get one of those in the eye, and that then causes infection in the eye. And yeah, so Davo's going to be going around to the cow fields just topping off all that spindly stuff. It might encourage some extra growth in the grass as well. Yeah, Davo's got his work cut out ahead of him. He's going to be using that new hydraulic steering kit. We'll see what he thinks of it later on. I'll give him a call, see how he's getting on. I haven't had a chance to actually use that in the field yet. So the farmer used it, he said he liked it. He said it was the exact same as the Massey kit, which is good because that worked very nice. Robbo's down here loading some bales. We're just going to do this for a morning job. Keithy wants to get on here and get some fur on it, preferably before Tuesday when it rains again. Would like to get these bales, you know, morning jobs, because we're at the farm. It's super easy. We don't have to strap nothing. Yeah, hindsight, we would have probably left one of these wheat fields in ryegrass, but that's hindsight for you. Anyway, Rob will load them. I'll tow them backwards and forwards. Keithy will unload them and load himself. And yeah, you'll soon move some bales quickly with 3 of you. There's only 227 for the field. That's what we done first off. I don't know how many silage we need. I would have thought we'd need a good 1,000, 1,200. Just 1,500 probably, preferably. I haven't got the big trailers on because the big trailers require air, and the round baler and the mowers are currently on, and this won't be a theme all year, but we are going round baling after dinner, so there's no point unhooking all that. Anyway, that's tight in there. It's 8:30 in the morning. We'll do this for a couple of hours. We'll get most of these moved, I would have thought. But we're going away from farm today up to the water meadows. Usually make hay there, but yeah, we need some extra silage, and it's the only place, with it being a damp place, it's the only place there's a bit of grass. So anyway, we spaced the trailers out so Robbo can load them. We won't need any more trailers now. We usually do a lot of silage around the area, but it just hasn't grown. We're still waiting for grass. So yeah, I imagine we'll have it all to do all in one time. We'll have haymaking and silaging going on all in one go. This is ryegrass. This always grows, you know. It doesn't need no encouragement to grow this stuff. And we should have another crop of this, so you won't get as many. Second crop you'll get about 160 to 180. First crop is always the most. If you've got a damp year, you'll get a third crop, and then yeah, third crop's usually a little bit less from there. There's Robbo loading some up. Got to be extra careful with the bags. Don't want any tears in the bags. If you tear the bag, you've then got to go repairing the bag. If you're going on the road, we will take all these tails. What I usually do is load all the tails in the middle, and then you don't have all this hanging off either side when you're going down the road. Obviously, if we're going on the road, we strap them up. They're heavy, you know, these things are heavy. This is the oldest grab we've got. This is Albert grab, but Christ almighty, it's twice the grab of that other. That other is I don't know what make. I think it's cherry one. They took it back for us because it kept snagging bales, but This Albert one's much better. They hang lower, you can see them better, and it doesn't snag the bales so much. But ever so simple in their design. So next time we get a squeezer, we'll probably have the same. I don't know why we didn't have the same one. Everybody likes this one. They're ever so delicate, so you've got to be careful picking them up. There we go, we're loaded. Got a small issue with this tractor at the moment. Yeah, one thing after another on this thing. It's been recently having some weird starting issues. I think we think it could be the crank sensor. It sort of starts and then fizzles off. Yeah, it's just not starting right at the moment. Once it's going, it seems to be okay, but we seem to think it might be a crank sensor issue, so I think Ollie's going to take it in for us and replace that and see if that helps. Look at the little look at the winter wheat here. Doesn't look brilliant, but there'll be a little bit of corn there, there'll be a little bit of straw there. All coming out in here. We'll see what it does. I think, but you know, you're not going to break any records there, so we're not expecting, you know, huge yields there. The wet got to it early on and just wouldn't let it grow, so which was a shame because it went in quite well, but it just comes so wet in the winter. Anyway, we will be cutting these headlands for silage probably in the next couple of weeks, I would have thought. Keithy will start. What we do is literally just mow. He just holds one mower up, just uses one mower, round bale them, we pick them up, and then we'll wrap them next to the because there's so much handling with them. You can't get them on a trailer for obvious reasons. You don't want to be parking in the field, so you got to go around with a telehand and pick them up. Yeah, they're just a pain to do, headland silage, but look at all the grass there. It's a shame to waste it, so we're not going to waste it. We're going to make some silage, and it's hard work for everyone. It's hard work for the loader man, it's hard work for the people on trailers, because you've got to try and find a place to load them on the trailers. It's just hard work all round, and we'll go around most of the crops and silage what grass there is there. We usually top it, you see, and keep it tidy that way, but we shall be mowing it and silaging it. So there we go. Keithy's here waiting for a load. Starting a new stack here. Not as easy as it looks. The finesse in the job is not how fast you can do it, but doing it without snagging the bales. That's the finesse in the job. There's all different types of grabs you can get for handling them. There's all different ways of stacking them, but this is how we find it. Well, it just works best for us. Keithy's just about to take the last one off the trailer. Anyway, this is that trailer that we put a new bed on, look. Doing a lovely job. That worked nice. Anyway, I should get out of the way, eh? Stood here looking at it. But, right, there's the cattle box. If we want that trailer, we will take the box off. We just lift the box straight off the trailer. I don't think we shall need it, but farmer usually sometimes makes us take it off. Depends on the year. I don't think we'll need it this year with the quantities that are going to be coming in, but we got the other two new trailers as well. So Keithy's going to go and mow a bit more later for us to bale up and wrap up, and yeah, should be a good job. Anyway, feeling a tiny bit better every day, feeling a bit better, so that's something. Christ, I had a rough week last week. Oh my god. Yeah, felt pretty terrible last week, but these things come to all of us, don't they? You know, we all get ill at some point. So anyway, we'll know roughly where those silage are. We will most likely save those for the young stock. It doesn't matter what the cows have. We don't need super high quality for the cows. We don't want them getting fat in the sheds. and we certainly don't want big, massive, humongous calves because we fed them too well. So yeah, they might find that this year there's more cow hay than silage, and that won't be a bad thing. And on a drought year, we were just we sort of noticed before, on drought years, the cows come in looking beautiful. By that I mean they're not fat. They haven't got, haven't gorged themselves on grass all year. So they come in looking really, slender and just in really good condition is what I mean. So that's good. But yeah, drought's never good for everything. And on a wet year it's not good at all either. You can't get out on the fields, you can't get the crop off, you can't do this and that. I don't know which way round is best. At least you can get on the fields when it's droughty, but there's just less quantities of everything. So yeah, anyway, should be an interesting year this year. This is the first bit of silage we're doing. We'll have a bit of picking up this week to do. We're going to go and sit on the baler this afternoon. I'll show you a little bit of that. The guys did a lovely job with the shed roof there, John and his team, so thanks John for coming and doing that for us and fitting us in. That was yeah, we're so happy with that. Just glad to get the roof back on, just because once you've got the roof off you've got to do something, haven't you? So yeah, he said that went on pretty much no problem, so that was good. We had yeah, Briarwood was the supplier of the panels, and we actually yes, farmer's going to give him a call. I don't think we're after our money back or anything, but there was a couple of panels in there with holes in, and I don't know if it was a manufacturing issue or something like that. Anyway, we're going to take some pictures for them just so they know, because I'm sure these firms, they don't want panels going out like that. So that was interesting actually. The guy said to me, John said to me, it's where they make them and they haven't quite set enough, and then they pallet them up, and it causes these weird artifacts on the panels. And there were 3 or 4 with actual big holes in, big as that, holes all the way through. So that was interesting. But no, we had some spare panels, so the guys made it work. So that was pretty good. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Farmer's out there spraying again today. Linda's out there hay delivering. It's been half term this week, so the kids actually came up yesterday morning. They give me a hand yesterday afternoon actually, and give us a hand picking up some all the sharp bits out the shed, so they enjoyed that. They're off to a young farmers event up in Buckingham somewhere today, so that's what they're doing. And then Hazel will be back to work next week because half term will be over. Soon be summer holidays though. We've got TB test in 2 weeks, along with cereal show that I am planning on going to if things aren't too busy. It's looking like another dicky week next week, so I don't think there'll be any haymaking, but you never know, it can change in a few days, so we'll see. Oh, this is the dusty bit. Step back. It'll always get you in the face. Always bring the step down, then forget the step at the end. Well, that gets some more oil when we get back to the farm. Sweet, I've got to get oil and another net.
Right?
Yes.
Good.
Right, Robbo.
Teach me.
This is proper horrible. But you got to do it. This little thing here, let me start from scratch. That has to be clipped in, Rob. It's on a spring, see it?
Yeah.
You just pull this out. It'll fit somewhere else then.
Yeah.
Then we've got another one somewhere else. This one, that's your brake. That clips up in here, look.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have wrapped another one, so now we have it backwards to what the picture is. See the way it's coming off the roll? But I'm going to put it in the right way and just see how that goes. The catch has broken, can you see?
Yeah.
And the catch secures on this brake here.
Yeah.
And it keeps it all there, and it's spinning past it, Rob, and this is just dangling out here like that, and the wing catches it, and then that's what makes them bales a bit scruffy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and put it in the right way and see if that makes any difference. That just unclips from there, look. See it? Just goes in there, one end goes in there like that. Just keeps the roll from going anywhere.
Yeah.
I always put that there. See the picture? Right, the picture's a bit...
coming off the right way at that?
No. Is it?
I think so.
Oh yeah, maybe I have put it in right. Maybe that's why it weren't... Oh right.
Is this one you put in?
Yeah.
Oh, you probably...
I have put it in right, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well we'll put it in wrong
Put
then.
it in wrong then.
Right, take note where these go, look. It goes over this top one. That's that one. It comes down here. There's a flappy flap. See the flap?
Yeah.
So it goes down, over. It's got to go through the red and then poke your head down here, because this is horrible, this bit. It's got like a duck's, they call it a duck's bill. We will have to move that to get... Fucking hell, mate.
You need like a long stick, don't you?
It comes down here, look, Rob. You've got to thread it down through there, look. You've got to bring it down there and then across.
Yep.
And you've got to do that because that's where it feeds in, yeah? That's the knife, look. See the knife?
Yeah. So what, that just dangles in there?
Yeah, and then it just dangles in there and that's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
We'll take all this out.
Yeah, so you got to pull it so it comes sort of past. Right, just dangles in.
Horrible bloody job, this. I've done the last bale perfect. It will wrap that round the last one, but you've got to leave the bale in there and then wrap another one round it. Especially if you're on hay or straw.
You wrap it in, try hope the wrap will pick it up.
Then you got to roll it out and start again. You know how it is. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, like
I shall need some oil when I get back. While we're here, Rob, while we've got a side open, we always check chains and all things going on in there. This is where it's splitting, can you see? So I've got to get a new belt, look. Can you see it splitting?
yeah.
So we want a new belt for when that decides it's not going to work anymore. And the oil pump runs off this. It's down under
What's
here.
that belt driving?
This is the oil pump.
That's what the belt's driving. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
This is the only tricky thing, and it would be, it's not too bad for a lad, but you've got to get it up there. And you get a young girl at it, you know what I mean? They're not...
What are you trying to call me?
Right, we'll have it coming off the bottom this time.
Or if you get a short arse like me trying to pick it up in there.
Bugger. Dirty, innit? Absolute dirty. Right, you sort it out then. You remember where it goes? The confusing thing is like which roller is which. Over that one. That's it. The red one is this one, Rob. That's the red roller. In front of that red roller. And the bit you can't really see is the duck's bill, so you've got to bring it down That's it, like that. And then if you come down, you'll see. You sort of just go right to the left hand side. Yeah, just go right to the left hand side and it'll thread through. You'll see it. It'll pop out at the bottom. When there ain't no crap in there, it's a bit easier. That's it, and then just slide it to the middle when you've got it in there, and yeah.
Is that through enough?
Yep. Love this, eh? Okay. Right, now you just got to remember everything. That'd be the reason Cole has it in backwards, Rob.
What?
He said there was a reason, and I never really knew what it was. But I thought I put it in backwards yesterday, and I hadn't. I put it in the right way. But can you see this thing gets held down with this thing? Well, at the minute, it's just sort of. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
it holds itself.
Clips that in play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to get a new one of those and a belt. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I'll just check the other side, see if that greaser's greasing.
One more thing. Make sure your steps folded.
Oh man, every time you forget the step. Without
fail. You
fail.
want a big rod, I bet I'd soon yank it off.
I'll have to put some oil in when I get back. Just check this side. See if our fix worked. What do you reckon? It weren't really. Oh, I don't know.
Looks pretty oiled to me.
Do you reckon it's it? Oh yeah, it is. I can tell. I can see because it's just put one on, Rob.
Yeah.
So that is working now. So that's good, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Happy. That'll do. Just check all the chains while you're in here.
The line.
Yeah. And for some reason, I don't know what the reason is, Rob, but if you lay a wrap in there, I don't know if it's down the road with it bouncing, but something messes it up. And you will, it'll just make every bale look terrible.
So you never put one in this side?
No. Wants a wash, doesn't it? Wants a wash, blow off, grease up. Well, it's been greased. It wouldn't need a grease.
What sort of numbers you do before you grease it?
After a good day, you know, proper day, 700.
700.
I don't know what the official thing is on it, Rob, but we just, you know, 8 hours, grease it up.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 hours.
That's usually what it is, isn't it? You know, the main ones, the ones that are turning all the time. I turn everything off, Rob, so when I come back in, and the first thing you got to just remember is to unlock it. That's an unlock, look, press that, and it always sets it to manual.
Yeah.
From when you turn it on, so you just got to press, and it says auto, and now it will wrap itself. When you get to the end of the field, to save having a tiny little one, or you have a big one, you can wrap a big one, you can't wrap a little one. So I always make a big one at the end. Try to remember. So if you're doing that, you put it back to manual. Yeah. And then you tie it whenever you.
How do you tie it manually?
That's your tie, look.
Yeah.
So if there's a bale in there now, we could tie it up. Yeah. You can do it at any stage, at any height. But if you put it to manual, it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you tie it, and you're done. Do you know what I mean? Then you ain't gonna leave none in the baler. That's how I do it anyway. Yeah. Sometimes if you'll forget and it'll tie one, you've got a pissy little bit and you'll have a tiny.
Yeah.
So it's no biggie.
How big's about got to be before it ties it?
It says 125 centimeters, but whether that's right or not, I don't know. This is like a greaser. That will tell you when to grease up. Yeah. It's like a service light. But we just grease it
regularly and
just grease it regularly.
You know it's done.
I better put that back to water, don't I? That's it, and then literally you just start it back up, heat it up, just done.
Oh, nice.
All right, mate.
Cool.
Good.
Cheers.
Right, we'll see if that ties any better. Anyway, that'd be good. Have a look. Good. Okay, mate.
Good night.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Young Robert. I like showing young Robert because he takes it all in. Him and his dad use all sorts of machines, so, and they got a cool little setup this year. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but they got a really cool setup this year. Yes, hopefully we'll go out and film it if we're not crazy busy this year. We'll go out and catch them at it. But yeah, him and his dad are no fools around machinery. Anyway, we're going to see. We put our net on backwards this time. I thought I had put it on backwards. Obviously I hadn't. You'll see we're not quite clearing everything up, but it's ever so rough in these fields, and I'd rather leave some behind than damage a baler feeder. So you can have it run tight to the ground, but if you run it tight to the ground, you run then the risk of setting the rattle clutch off and everything else. So we're not after fully clean as we can get it, not in places like this. If we had a real level field, you could finesse it. You could just drop it a hole and let it down a little bit more, but there's no need. It's picking 99% of it up. I'm happy. Alright, let's just make sure that's our beeper to say we're nearly ready. That's our beeper to say stop. Check our net. Okay. Open the door. First one always comes out a little bit iffy where you've been threading it around the rollers. Once you've done one there, with this job you can't see what's come out the back, but you sort of always just checking the last row you've done to make sure you ain't got an issue. That's alright, that's come out. I like this baler anyway. This is a hell of a tool. Just get covered in dust and itchy grass when you have to change the net. Same thing when you're doing straw. Whenever I'm not picking up, I pick the mouth of the feeder up. It just saves a little bit of wear on the feeder. We run it down pretty much on the wheels, and I don't think you're meant to. I think you're meant to run the wheels an inch off the floor, but we run it with the wheels on the floor just so it follows the contour of the field, and then it goes into float, and the mouth should open and close as you go up and down the field then. But it's a nice job this. Anyway, we've got a little bit to do today, so after we're finished here we're going off to some round gyms. We're going off to the quarry, so I might film there. But Robbo's on the wrapper. I think he's bought himself enough wrap. Before we head on anywhere else, we're at a nip in the farm, just put a bit of oil in the baler, and the oil, all the oil is it just sends it around the chain every time the baler wraps a bale. So it keeps the chains lubricated. Robbo will pick himself some wrap up later from the farm as well before we move on, but yeah, we'll have enough to do up here. We'll be done and dusted. We'll come pick these up next week. We want to pick them up relatively soon, and it's just to stop the I don't know why, but the birds, they either know there's bugs in there, or I don't know what they're after, but they start pecking the bales, and then that causes holes in your bales then. So yeah, that can be a pain sometimes. So we don't like we won't leave them out laid out for a long time. We'll come pick them up straight away. Anyway, this stuff, it's 23 or 24 degrees out there today. Proper heyday today. Little field by the quarry. We don't often come in this one. The guys usually clear it up with a sheep, but anyway, we're in here just making a bit of silage. This is a little favourite spot of ours during the winter. we will come down here after Sunday dinner at Linda's, and then we'll spend a couple of hours having a little fish in the lake, fishing for pike. So yeah, nice little spot this. We enjoy coming down here when it's not flooded, mind. Most of the time it's flooded. This year it's been mostly too flooded to come down, but yeah, we've caught some nice fish out of this quarry. Anyway, me and Robbo are nearly done. Keithy cut this morning, and yeah, it's getting bailed straight away. We're here anyway. You know, it might be a bit juicier, but it'll be fine. Anyway, we've had a good day. We had no breakdowns or anything like that. Me and Robbo, we've just been in another field, real rough one. Just got to go ever so steady. The kids come and brought ice cream for us, so we've had life of luxury today. But anyway, yeah, we're going to finish up here, and then we'll be back to picking some up. I don't know if Farmer's going to cut any more or not. We'll see you into next week.